Good evening. Welcome to Up Close and Personal, exclusively right here on WXVI Radio, 1600 AM in Montgomery, Alabama. We've got it exclusively, okay? Exclusively. You're hearing it and seeing it for the first time, courtesy of WXVI. It just gives us so much great pleasure, I tell you, and that's just an understatement for me. I'm just indeed honored to have as my very special guest on Up Close and Personal, international recording artist, yes, songwriter, as well as singer. I tell you, he's just such a blessing across the globe. Israel Houghton of Israel and New Breed. Thank you so very much, my brother, for stopping by Up Close and Personal on tonight. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you. It's a great honor to be with you and to be talking to you tonight.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Now, I tell you, you have 6 Grammy Awards, 16 GMA Dove Awards, and the list just goes on and on. So first of all, who do you credit your success to?
Oh, all glory goes to God. I learned a long time ago, even when I started attending award shows that I, was either nominated at or went with somebody. And I remember attending the Dove Awards, kind of my first award show, and Michael W. Smith had won like his 9th award of the night or something. It was just crazy.
Yes.
And, after all of those times, you kind of run out of things to say. And he got up and he just said, "This is just one more thing that I get to lay at the foot of the cross." Yes. And I remember when he said that, it was just like the standard was raised for how to graciously accept something like that and ultimately just give it all back to Jesus. So, I never set out to be, an award winner, or, I never went at this like, what is going to be my definition of success? It was just, I just want to be used by God. And I'm very grateful that he's used me all these years.
Yes, that is wonderful. Now, you have certainly raised the bar and the standard as far as the gospel and Christian music community are concerned. So who influenced your career growing up?
I say this very, very immediately. The blueprint for everything I've done up to this point has always been Andre Crouch.
Oh, yes.
If there's a Mount Rushmore for me, he is the only one on that mountain, So, I love that, 50 years ago, he was doing cross-cultural music before anybody had a title for it or a category for it.
Yes.
And so I've really just kind of made that my life's missions to be a part of writing timeless songs and songs that hopefully will last decades and decades like his has, and to bring people together regardless of color or generation or denomination.
Exactly. Now, how long have you been singing?
So I am in my 31st year of full-time ministry this year. It's crazy. I started when I was 19.
Wow. Wow. 31st year, and you look 30.
Well, thank you for that.
Wow.
There's some
That's
great.
Indeed a blessing. Yes, yes, yes. So, and of course, you do have so much staying power in the gospel music industry. And of course, we may have someone watching this video right now, and they may say, "Hey, I want to be just like him when I grow up." So what advice do you have to give to them?
I get asked that a lot, and normally I get asked that from people who are kind of in the middle of their frustration that their moment hasn't come yet, or they're, they're frustrated because they're watching other people's moments happen and theirs haven't. And I always just kind of encourage people in this: bloom where you're planted. There's a lot of people that are frustrated, so they're trying to kick doors open for opportunity, especially now, like, in social media and that sort of thing. Like, we've seen these great, what look to be overnight successes, and we go, well, then that's certainly how it should happen for me. And when it doesn't, there is this kind of just, angst and frustration that sets in. And I've always said, like, wherever you are and whatever platform God has given you, make that really count. Don't be looking past that platform to somebody else's next move. Bloom where you're planted, and planted is the key word here. Like, settle down, sit in a chair, and let God use you the way he's going to use you in his time.
That is so true. That is so true. Again, we have as our very special guest on tonight, international gospel recording artist Israel Houghton of Israel and New Breed. So, Israel, what is the key to us longevity in the industry?
I think it's perspective. I think, especially in our genre of music, gospel music makes up about 1% of the overall musical industry. And I think when you keep that in perspective, one, you realize how much of an honor it is to represent, because it is such a small niche market. And I think when you keep that kind of perspective and humility about you, it is God who adds the increase. I'm not saying that to be cliche. It's like it really is an honor to represent the kingdom of God. And even though it's a small industry, well, I would say because it's such a small industry, we can't act like and rock stars when, the truth is, we're just blessed to be where we are. And I think humility is the key to longevity in this business for sure.
Very true. That is very true. And staying humble.
Yes, ma'am.
Staying humble. Yes. So tell me this. I understand that you have just, of course, released your new project entitled The Quarantine Worship Experience. Now, let me tell you, we have your single, Feels Like Home. It's in full rotation here at WXVI 1600 AM, and the phones have just been jumping off the hook. You got to get it.
That means
you've got to get this new project. You have got to get this new project. So tell us about this project. Of course, the project was actually released the end of February. Is that correct?
Yeah, so we were releasing it in 2 volumes. So volume 1 was released February 26th, Feels Like Home. And the single that you're referring to is Hymn of Breakthrough. And we kind of wanted that song to feel like a theme for a lot of people for 2021, because 2020 was such a rough one, such a rough year. And so it's important sometimes by faith to say, I hear the sound of breakthrough, even if you don't. You know what I mean? So sometimes I have to declare everything that I need, God has supplied and provided, and I am healed and I am free. God has spoken. And you may be having to sing that at a time where you don't feel healed and you don't feel free and you don't feel like every need is supplied. But there's something about tapping into that evidence of things, things not seen, the substance of things hoped for, that allows faith in action for you to actually be able to hear and see your breakthrough. So we came together last year, the end of last year, with our New Breed team to celebrate 20 years of being together. And out of that, we decided to do this live stream worship event. And it went so far beyond our expectation. And even just what was captured just felt so pure and so authentic that we just knew we had to make a record out of it and put it out. And it's so much material that we had to release it in 2 volumes.
That is amazing. And of course, Israel, today just so happens to be the first anniversary of the COVID-19 pandemic. So tell us how things going for you right now? I'm very grateful. A lot of people don't know this about me because, they may just see what they see online or on stage, but I'm actually quite an introvert. So
On stage, I'm not an introvert. I know that about myself, but off stage, I'm pretty shy and pretty, pretty much a homebody. So, I mean, it might not sound very popular, but like,
Wow.
it's been a blessing to be home and just spend time with Adrian and work on the things that we've been working on. But my heart really does go out to so many people who have lost loved ones, who have lost income, who have lost faith.
Yes.
We had a massive scare at the top of the year with our family. Adrian's mom, got COVID, and it was just really touch and go. It was very, very scary for a while. So there's something to sing these songs, and it's another thing to have to live them.
Yes.
And to really declare over yourself and over your family what God thinks.
Exactly. And of course, we have so many who are, watching this interview right now who have lost loved ones.
Sure.
To COVID. Not only lost loved ones, but just dealing with the depression.
Yeah. It's
COVID.
It's real. And we don't take it lightly. And that's why we take very seriously what God has given us to say and to sing over people's lives.
Exactly. So what word of encouragement do you have to give to those folks?
That if you woke up this morning, that is the truest and most accurate sign that God is not done working in our lives. And I know, again, I always say some of these things at the risk of sounding cliche, but like I've literally had to bring things down to the foundations and the fundamentals that God has given us another opportunity today. He gave us a fresh 24 hours on the clock. And that is a sign that he's not done doing whatever he's doing in us and through us.
That is so true. That is so true. I tell you, Israel, I'm just so excited about this new single. And I want the folks to hear it, okay? So tell the people about it. We're going to debut it, if you don't mind, during our interview, if that's okay with you. But tell the folks about what they're about to hear.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the new single from Israel and New Breed from the Feels Like Home quarantine worship experience. And it's called Hymn of Breakthrough. And I pray that as you listen to it, maybe you sing along with it, that you will declare over yourself, I am healed, I am free, God has spoken, I agree, my breakthrough is here. This is Hymn of Breakthrough.
Yes, we're going to hear about a minute of it, if that's okay with you.
Yes.
Okay, let's go for it. All right, Hymn of Breakthrough. New music, Israel and New Breed.
Let me hear you say, I hear the sound of breakthrough. I hear the sound of breakthrough. I hear the sound of breakthrough. Oh, I hear the sound of breakthrough. My breakthrough is here. Say, oh, I hear the sound. Said I hear the sound, yeah. The sound
I love that. Thank you.
Just a snippet, but I am in love with it. Your new single, the new single by Israel and New Breed. I hear the sound of breakthrough. I love it. I tell you, it has truly blessed our listeners here at WXVI Radio here in the city of Montgomery. I tell you, people are just calling. And if people want to get this new project by you, tell them how they can do it, as well as our radio announcers as well.
Sure. It's available anywhere you get music, whether it be Apple Music, Amazon, Spotify, whatever. And then people could certainly go to our website for kind of some exclusive content, videos, stuff like that. And that's israelandnewbreed.com.
Israelandnewbreed.com.
And yeah.
Okay.
Israelandnewbreed.com. And they could follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Israel Houghton. So I just appreciate so much, one, your excitement for this project and for this music and your support of it and just talking to you. It's been great.
Oh, definitely. Most definitely. Now, you are also a worship leader, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right.
Say again?
I'm sorry. Are you a worship leader at a local church in California or New York or?
Not currently. No, wow. I work very closely with CCC, Dr. A.R. Bernard in Brooklyn, New York, and working with their team quite a bit. But yeah, no, I think it certainly since this lockdown, I'm not really doing anything like that. I'm doing a lot from home and worship from home and that sort of thing, and certainly doing things with New Breed. But I think it's safe to say that you don't have to have a full-time job leading worship to be a worship leader. I want to encourage everybody, like, hey, if God has put that in you, then lead wherever he puts you in front of people, whether that is like we do online with our worship days every Wednesday or just, in any place God opens the door for you to lead people into presence, go for it.
That's right. Just go for it. So as we prepare to close, what can our viewers expect from you in the near future?
I really have enjoyed this feels like home approach to doing worship and to doing new live music. So I think they can expect more of that this year. Volume 2, like I said, comes out April 2nd, which is Good Friday. And then we're working on a Feels Like Home Los Angeles. So that'll be coming out this summer. And we're just going to keep staying in that lane, I think, for a while, because we really enjoy it.
That is amazing. That is amazing. And also, before I let you go, I can talk.
I love it.
But before I let you go, of course, we just lost a gospel music icon legend, Bishop Rance Allen. Did you ever meet him? What was your experience with him?
I've met Bishop Rance on many occasions and sung with him and anytime, on some of these big gospel events we do, it's always sort of like a homecoming and everybody gets to connect. And I love our gospel community. And you're right. We lost a unique voice and just a giant of a man and not just a great singer, but such a great human being. Yes. Such an exemplary Christian. And it's a tough one, but he is sorely missed.
Yes, he is. Yes. Well, Israel, thank you so very much for stopping by, sharing with us on tonight, right here on Up Close and Personal, WXVI Radio, 1600 AM here in Montgomery, Alabama. And I want to make it happen, okay? I want to get you to this area.
We'd love to come to Montgomery. We'd love to come.
All right, I'm ready to make that thing happen, okay? Okay. All right. But again, friends, go ahead right now. We want you to download, okay? Use that purchasing power. Download the new project, the Quarantine Worship Experience. Is that right?
It's called Feels Like Home. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Feels Like Home. Okay. Yes. Feels Like Home. Okay. Yes. Feels Like Home.
Yes, ma'am.
Feels like home. Okay, go ahead and download the new single, the new project. We want you to get the whole project. Okay, so
Yeah,
go
please.
ahead and support the dynamic ministry of Israel and New Breed. Of course, we have it in full rotation on WXVI every day here in Montgomery, Alabama. And we're going to promote it, and we're going to make sure you do not forget about it. Okay. All right. Again, thank you so very much. I appreciate your time, and I really enjoyed you.
Thank you, my darling. Talk to you soon, okay?
Yes, sir. Have a blessed evening. Israel and New Breed, exclusively on WXVI 1600 AM. We thank him so much for his time. And we got to thank the Get Media Group, of West Palm Beach, Florida, for this beautiful production on tonight. Also got to say thank you to Jerry Smith. He is one of the promotions folks for Israel and New Breed for making this happen for us on tonight. Again, thank you so much. Thank you. And you make sure you support the dynamic ministry of Israel and New Breed. Go out and get that new project on today. God bless you. Have a wonderful evening.